In this lesson, we'll discuss pricing guidelines. At the end of the lesson, you'll be able to describe what guidelines are and explain how guidelines are used when making manual price adjustments and how they fit into overall pricing. This graphic gives you an overview of everything included in the order-to-cash process. All of these features are available when Oracle Fusion Cloud Order Management is connected with other Oracle Fusion Cloud SCM applications. Keep in mind, credit checks, transportation planning, and compliance screening can happen both at the time an order is submitted and again during fulfillment. The pre-built integrations shown here help tie it all together. For this course, we'll mainly focus on just a subset of these applications while we explore the order management and fulfillment flows. We'll also discuss how other systems connect both upstream and downstream. In this lesson, we're going to focus specifically on guidelines. For our first topic, we'll explore an overview of guidelines and understand their purpose in pricing. You can set up guidelines to make sure your organization's pricing policies are always followed during order entry and pricing. As a pricing administrator, you define these guidelines, and when order entry specialists enter orders, the system automatically checks prices against them. Guidelines can be created for specific charge components, tailored to your company's business requirements. For example, you might set up a guideline for manual price adjustments or for the net price of an item. There are different calculation types you can use, like an absolute value, a set discount amount, a discount percentage, or a percentage of another value. The system checks orders against these guidelines at different points: when you save, update the customer, reprice, or validate an order. When you submit an order, the system validates the entire transaction. For line-level pricing events and manual adjustments, only that particular line is checked. The guidelines connected to the pricing strategy for the order are always used. And remember, an order can only have one strategy at a time. In this screenshot, there's a guideline for the Your Price component, which is the net price, for item AS54888. If the price drops below $5,000, you'll just see an informational message. But if it goes below $3,000, the system raises an error. If a guideline is violated, the order entry specialist will see a warning message pop up. In order management, all guideline violations are treated as warnings only. This means the order entry specialist can still go ahead and submit the order even if there's a violation. For example, in the screenshot above, there's a warning for a price adjustment in row 2. The message says there's a pricing violation for the custom adjustment component and that the price adjustment should be $100 or less. In topic number 2, we'll cover the setups for configuring guidelines. Here's a quick overview of the steps for setting up pricing guidelines. First, make sure the price elements you want to use are eligible for creating guidelines. Next, use the pricing charge guideline matrix class to define the conditions that will enforce your guidelines. Make sure to map your matrix class to the pricing charge guideline matrix type. Finally, ensure the pricing operation is linked to the right pricing process. Following these steps helps you set up effective and enforceable pricing guidelines. First, you'll need to specify which price elements can have a guideline set up for them. To do this, just check the appropriate box on the Manage Price Elements page. Once selected, that price element will show up as an option in the component field within the Charge Guideline Components section of the Manage Guidelines page. In the screenshot, you can see several predefined price elements listed on the Manage Price Elements page. Use the built-in pricing matrix class called Pricing Charge Guidelines to manage the specific conditions for your guideline rules. When an order is checked against these guidelines, Oracle Pricing will return the relevant values and let you know the type of violation, whether it's an error, just informational, or a warning. In the screenshot, you can see the Edit Matrix class page, which shows how you set up the condition columns and result columns for your guideline rules. Be sure that the right matrix class is mapped to the pricing charge guideline matrix type. This ensures your guidelines work correctly. In the screenshot, you can see the pricing charge guideline matrix types listed along with other matrix types. Here's how to get there. From the navigator, go to My Enterprise and choose Setup and Maintenance. Then, select the Order Management offering. Search for and select the Manage Pricing Matrix Types task in the Pricing Functional areas. The mappings from the pricing operations to the pricing process come predefined, but you do have the option to update the pricing process if needed. In the screenshot, you'll see the Manage Pricing Process Assignments page where these mappings are set up. To get there, go to the Navigator, then by Enterprise, and finally Setup and Maintenance. Then choose the Order Management offering, then search for the Manage Pricing Process Assignments task within the Pricing functional area and select it. This lesson includes an instructor demonstration for adding your pricing charge guideline. To summarize our lesson, you should now be able to do the following: explain how guidelines are used in the context of manual price adjustments and